Welcome to Heading West, where we bring you to the frontier of capital markets and Web3. In episode 6 of Heading West, we'll be discussing the future of social investing with Anam, the co-CEO and co-founder of Alinea Invest, which is empowering the next generation of investors. So Anam, thanks so much for being
having me here.
Of course. Very excited for this episode and look forward to getting into it. So to start things off, Anam, I'd love to hear about, kind of your background and your professional career and kind of what led you to becoming a co-founder of Alinea.
Sure. So I attended Barnard College, majored in economics, and the big dream was to go off and work on Wall Street and do investment banking. And ended up doing that my junior summer for an internship, and just had this aha moment where we were out to lunch and one of the male interns said he had made thousands of dollars from investing since he was 13. Not sure how he started at 13, maybe it was through a parent. And just really got this FOMO and frustration and was like, if someone had told me to do this, I would have also made a lot of money. And just saw that, that never happened. There were no conversations, there was no community, there was no dialogue for people like me. There's a very small subset of people, even in the United States today, that have access and knowledge and a community about growing their wealth. So that was sort of the motivation for Alinea. Went back senior year to college and ended up being partnered with Eve, who's my co-founder. She also shared a very similar experience. And as we started talking to people, we were at Barnard College, which is a women's college, and we saw this all around us. There were so many young women who just were going to these really high-paying jobs, and they had no idea how to start investing, when to start. There was almost this confidence barrier present, and we saw this as a huge problem and an opportunity and something we knew we had to solve.
No, I love that. That's incredible. And you guys do have an amazing mission. Did you always have the desire to build your own company, or kind of was it a part of your background and experience that kind of led you to want to become a founder?
I think I joke about it from time to time. It's something like, I'd love to have, I remember in college I'd always joke, I'm going to have my own company by 22, and it was always a joke. But it actually ended up happening. And it wasn't something that we had anticipated. It truly came out of pure passion. So we started working on this as a class project. The name was Alinea. The concept was to really empower people through education, take control of their finances. And we really saw a huge gap in the market. We have so many products that are marketed to young people, to women, but there's no financial products that are really built for us, which is wild to me. And so we started working on this idea, and I found myself similar to you. I think you mentioned you're grinding nonstop and you're passionate about something. I was in my investment banking job and just found myself thinking about Alinea, and was working on the equity capital markets desk and saw that these tech IPOs were happening and the retail investing space was taking off and crypto was taking off, and just saw this as a huge opportunity and a problem that needed to be solved. And so the pandemic hit 6 months into my job, and I ended up packing my things and went to Long Island for what I thought would be 2 weeks. And as we all know, that turned out to be 6 to 8 months. And I was back at home and just really thought about how life is short and how you should pursue what you really want to do. And so we took my Combinator, and we got in. And so that was sort of the first signal, and we took the jump. Eve and I both quit our jobs. We found out on Thursday, and Monday morning we called in. I think I went Monday morning and Eve went Tuesday, and we quit our jobs, and the rest is history.
That's truly an incredible story. I love how you got started, and especially being a class project. I'm excited to touch back in around a year and see where you guys are at. And I was just going to ask you about why Combinator, so glad you brought that up. I'm curious, how much do you think that has helped the success and growth of Alinea?
I think tremendously. There was no one in my life that I knew that was a tech entrepreneur. I knew nothing about startups. I didn't even know what VCs were. I don't know. I think someone said A16Z once. I was like, what's that?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that fancy? Everyone's like, you don't know what that is? I'm like, no idea. So really, I was coming from no knowledge. And so going through YC was an introduction to both the tech world, the startup world, and it really taught us the fundamentals of building a company. And a lot of the time people think you need advice, but they almost kind of tell you what to focus on. They're everything else is irrelevant unless you're talking to your users and writing code. And the rest is just a distraction. I think that's the most important message.
It's really interesting to see how that's helped you guys so far, and definitely a huge accomplishment, and congratulations in a part of being a part of YC. You can explain Alinea as an elevator pitch for anyone listening that might not be familiar with the company as of yet.
Sure. Alinea is an investing app for Gen Zs. We primarily focus on playlists, which are collections of investments based on an idea or cause. So you can invest in Nancy Pelosi, fighting climate change, green tech, pro-abortion rights, and you can share it with the community. So we're fully community driven, and we really focus on just redefining that investing experience. The word Alinea in itself means a new chapter. So it's Alinea Invest, which is a new chapter in investing.
Got it. I did not know that. I love that name. And then kind of rolling into the next question. So why did Alinea take a social approach to investing? In my opinion, the only really social investing platform I've seen would be maybe Robinhood that has kind of sparked that movement a little bit. I think you guys are taking that 10 times further, and I'd love to hear kind of the mindset behind that.
I think it was really more than like, let's create a social platform. It was really about, there's a pain point here. And a lot of people don't want to start with investing because they don't have those connections or conversations. It really is a journey. It's a lot like going to the gym when you initially get started. You usually have a buddy with you, even when you go to a gym, part of a community, and you don't know it, whether you're running outside. So finance is a lot like fitness. And we knew, especially for our generation, that we had to build something that was around sharing, that was around collaboration, and that didn't just have to be this like solo locked up experience. And so, like we say, there's no gatekeeping here. We share the best investing ideas with you. And you have like support to go through that journey.
Well, I think the community approach is definitely the right approach to be taken. I think across a lot of companies and new startups as well, community is really taking off across all sectors. So it's great to see how you guys are enabling that for your users and investors. And then right now for your current onboarding strategy, what does that look like and how are you guys looking to grow in Alinea?
Yeah, so we're a super Gen Z company. We've been on TikTok. We're the founders and the founding team. We get up, we make videos. We want everything to feel really authentic and be community driven. We have a community of like over thousands in our Slack. We've worked with tons of college campuses. We've run college ambassador programs, community programs, so fully grassroots and community driven. And we plan to stay that way.
That's great. I think the college ambassador programs are also huge too. It's interesting, in my opinion, about how a lot of companies really haven't taken that route. So that's awesome that you guys are. And then I know you guys do offer cryptocurrencies on your platform as well. Curious for anyone listening, what are the current cryptos that people can invest in, and do you plan on expanding those offerings?
So we offer the top 20 cryptos. It'd be a long list if I had to list them all, and we definitely plan on expanding. And it's not just, I think on a lot of platforms you get on and you're like, should I put all my money in crypto? Which crypto? But with the playlist offering, you can add crypto to your existing playlist. You can create a playlist with just crypto. So it really gives you that flexibility to continue to diversify your investments, which is like at the core of Alinea.
And then I also noticed on your guys' site that Alinea has some of the lowest fees compared to Coinbase, Cash App, etc. I'm curious how you guys make that happen.
So we charge a 1% spread, which is 3 times lower than Coinbase, Cash App, Gemini, many of our competitors. We're able to offer this competitive pricing with our partnership with Alpaca. And that was really important to us, especially since we're targeting and catering to new investors.
And then I also saw that you guys are partnered with Drive Wealth. I'm curious if you can kind of explain who Drive Wealth is and kind of what they do and how they work together with Alinea.
Yeah, so all of your brokerage accounts on Alinea are SIPC insured up to $500,000. We work with some of the leading brokerage platforms in the industry like Drive Wealth, which also powers Cash App and MoneyLion. And so it really allows us to deliver the best experience for our community while Drive Wealth is doing all the back end work of executing your trades, creating your brokerage account, so we can ensure safety and security and also ensure a really beautiful, seamless experience.
Definitely sounds like a great partnership, and it's great that you guys are bringing such competitive fees to the market as well. I think with YC, they do invest in their companies, but have you guys currently raised capital as of yet? And are you guys planning to raise at all in the near future?
Yeah, we'll definitely raise in the future. We've raised up to $2.3 million up until now. So we're well funded and we're going to continue to grow and do what we do best, which is cater to our community and continue to grow and expand that.
For anyone listening to, I'm sure a lot of listeners are wanting to know how they can get involved with Alinea. Do you guys have any open positions? I know there's a Slack, but how can kind of people play a bigger role?
100%. Join our Slack, follow us on socials. Don't be afraid to reach out. I love getting emails. I love hearing your feedback on the product. I think so many people have even reached out from TikTok or social media, and they're like, I want to chat with you and give you feedback, tell you things I like and I don't like. And I think that's the beauty of what we're doing, is that we're not building in a black box. We're one of the first financial products to be building alongside our community. And that's what excites us. Like, we truly want to make sure that we're building the best possible investing experience.
You can definitely see that too, just landing on your guys' website, within the app too. You can tell that you're building right alongside the community, which is something I definitely took note of and like very much, especially with an investing platform. What has been one of the craziest stories so far while building Alinea?
Ooh, wow. So many. I just think like our first 1,000 users we just got from hustling and going to college campuses. And I think that was really crazy. Even I would stand outside with donuts and our friends would be like, what are you guys doing? Like, why did you go to college? Why did you quit your jobs to give out donuts? So I think like so many memories along the way. And every time we make TikToks, it's always great to look back and reflect on those.
Most definitely. It's always the best part, in my opinion, of looking back and seeing what you've built over the past few months or year. How do you see the investment landscape changing over the next few years?
I think investing is here to stay. It doesn't matter if the market's up or if it's down. It's getting more and more digitized. It's getting younger. More and more Gen Zs especially want to take control over their financial futures. We're super smart. We want to be ahead of the curve. And we want, the best information possible. We want to do it together. We don't want to do it in a black box. We want to be connected. We want community. So I think investing is going to, really reflect everything that Gen Z stands for. A huge part of investing, for so long, it's like, I'm going to put money in XYZ because it gives financial returns. But I think Gen Z, we want so much more than that. Financial returns is only tip of the iceberg. We're looking at, how sustainable is this company? What's the diversity on their board like? What do they stand for? And really using investing as a form of self-expression.
I can't agree more. And then to wrap up this episode, Anam, if you had one piece of advice to give to another founder building in Web3 or capital markets, what would that be?
Just keep going. It's all about, when you think about and you hear success story gathered it so far, it's just all about the small wins. So try and get that next small win. And it's, those little steps over time really add up.
They most definitely do. But thank you again, Anam, and thank you for everyone tuning in for the 6th episode of Heading West. And Anam, where can anyone find you or connect with you as well?
You can find me on TikTok, on Instagram, on Slack, literally anywhere and everywhere.
I love it. Well, thanks so much, everyone, again for tuning in, and we will see you guys in the next one.
All right. Thank you so much.